Hi YouTube. This is one of my first proper videos I'm gonna post. It's a drawing of Gerard Way from Revenge Era that I'm trying to fix to fit the whole page of this sketchbook. So I'm covering up with this sticky note. The drawing under it was, if you could tell, it's from a very weeaboo-ish anime. It's Sasuke, basically. I drew him and I really didn't want to cover him, like, with ink, because I thought that the ink would also show up, like, you could see his silhouette, so I basically got a sticky note and covered him up, and decided to draw over it. But yeah, this is Gerard from, his look during Revenge, the Revenge album. It's one of my favorite looks he had. I really loved his, like, shoulder length hair, and it's really nice. I like guys with shoulder length hair, and it's really fun to draw, especially with ink. At first, I wasn't sure if I was going to actually, like, finish this drawing at all. I thought it was just gonna be a little sketch, and then it ended up I inked it, and after that I was like, I really want to do the whole page. So this is what is going on. So far I'm just like trying to make the back of his head fit with how I left the front hairs, and it's pretty hard because I have to like estimate how big his head is, and you see the bottom there, it kind of looks weird how his hair is, and so I had to fix it later on. It just didn't look right. And I'm using a Prismacolor chisel pen, chisel tip black pen, and it's a good pen, but it's very streaky. I don't recommend this if you want it to look very good, like a Copic marker, very flat. This will make everything very streaky, especially when I started to fill in the black with the sticky note, especially since that paper isn't meant for really coloring, it's just meant to write on. It was very streaky. You can't really notice it in this drawing, but it was streaky. Yeah. The Revenge album is actually one of my favorite albums from MCR, besides the Danger Days. Danger Days was a really good album to me. You can have your own opinions. I would like to know, what is your favorite album from MCR? Is it Bullets, or Revenge, or The Black Parade, or Danger Days? Or if you just prefer the singles? I don't know. I know a lot of people's is The Black Parade, and it's one of their best albums they ever had, and it's a really good album. Like, the way they compose the songs and how it sounds with Gerard singing and the band, it's really good. But I just prefer how Revenge and Danger Days sound better. It's just preference of what you like in music. But yeah. And my favorite band members from My Chemical Romance is Gerard and Ritoro. I love Gerard because he's very artistic, and I can really relate to that because I'm also an artist. Yeah, and he didn't just make music with the band members. He kind of like created this world, like himself as a character in the music, as you can see, like in Revenge. He seems like he's a part of the album. He looks like it. Ooh, look! Those were my drawings, my little chibis of Gerard throughout the years. But never mind about that. I was speaking about Gerard. During the Black Parade album, he dyed his hair white, and he looked kind of representing the guy who died in the album, because it's a story. And during Danger Days, it's basically a comic book, and he's playing one of the characters, you know, which I really I really dig that red hair he had. It was very, very nice. Very, very bright. Now I've finished coloring in his black hair, and I'm starting with my Copics. And before that, you saw me testing out my Copics on a sheet of white paper, because I usually like to test out the colors beforehand to make sure that I use the right colors that I actually want to use, because if you just look at the colors that is on the marker, you probably might get it wrong, because some of them are really misleading. Like, you think it will be a bright red, but it's actually a bright pink. There I'm coloring under his eye, because he's known for his red eye makeup during Revenge, and it's not actually this color. The makeup he wears during Revenge is more of a burgundy, reddish brown, and I made it more of a orange, bright orange, and it's not really that color, but I mean, make do with what you have. I don't really have those colors. Copics are way too expensive. I don't have the time. I'm trying to save up for college right now, and I can't spend money on Copics, honestly. I might go into debt. But I'm just coloring along his eye, just trying to make it as dark as possible. You know, angsty emo boy. Spicy emo boy. But yeah. I'll just keep working on it, and then I'm gonna work on his eye. He has hazel eyes, but sometimes they look brown, and so I was trying to make the brown that I had mix with the green to make it kind of hazily. It's pretty hard since I don't really have the right colors. It looks alright. I kind of liked it, but it looks cute. I mean, it looks alright, I guess. I really like his eyes. They're really nice hazel color. I like green eyes and hazel eyes. I think they're really pretty. I also like brown eyes, even though a lot of people don't like brown eyes. But I think they're really nice. But here I'm adding some shading around his eye, because it's very important that you add shading around the eyes, because your eyes are not just blank white, and it gives more dimension into the eye. And it looks, I feel like it looks better. I mean, he's supposed to look dark, not bright-eyed and awake. What am I doing there? Oh, there I am adding skin tone to him, so he's not too dead. I mean, he's pretty dead inside, but, you know, just adding a little bit, honestly, of skin tone. I'm not trying to add too much, because he does wear, like, really pale foundation when he was during the Revenge era, and his makeup was like white powder. Just adding a little bit of skin tone around the nose, because I love noses and mouths. Those are like my favorite things to draw besides eyes, and just accentuating them to me, it's like my favorite part of like coloring. I'm not that good coloring with markers, coping markers, or any type of alcohol-based inks. It's not one of my favorite things to do, honestly, but I'm slowly kind of getting into it. It's not my favorite, but it makes stuff look really good and professional. I'm more into color pencils, but in the comic industry, most people do not use color pencils because it's considered unprofessional, and they kind of don't look that good alongside like solid black ink because of the different textures. But I still added color pencil to this because I really love color pencil, and it just adds some more depth that I couldn't get with the markers without adding a too dark of a brown or too dark of a red. I don't even have a dark red. What am I saying? But I kind of messed up with the color pencils on his nose, adding a little shading there. I was trying to remove it earlier because I did not like what I did. here I'm adding pink to his tongue because before I cut some video of this because I was debating whether to color his tongue red or pink, and because most people color a tongue red, but I was just like, that'd be a little too much. I don't want the focus to be in his mouth, the red. I want it to be closer to his eye, so I guess I just add pink. Here's shading a little bit there. Giving a little depth since I don't really have any other pink to shade it darker. And then I add some gray shadows to his teeth to give it more dimension. I say dimension so much because I don't know what else to say, honestly. It adds depth. You know, you want your drawings to look like they're not too flat, because if they're too flat, they're not as interesting. And I'm not saying mine is the best. So I make really great depth in my drawings, because honestly I don't. I do like the minimal work. But yeah. Right there I think I'm starting to color in the background, and I decided to color the background of this red because it fits with the album, you know. The cover of the album is covered in, the characters in the front of the Revenge album is covered in blood, and so red just seemed the best color, honestly, to put on. Later on, I don't show this in this video, but you can look at my Instagram and I uploaded the finished drawing, and the background actually has the lyrics to one of the songs, To the End. Yeah, it's the song To the End, and it's the lyrics that are in the background of the drawing I added, because I really like adding text to the back of drawings of singers, because I don't really like leaving the singers there, because I imagine when I draw them and like screaming or like they look like they're yelling, that they're singing one of their songs, so I added the text in the background of one of my favorite songs. And To the End is one of my favorite songs. It's not my favorite from the Revenge, but it's one of my favorites. I didn't add my favorite because I was too lazy to look up the lyrics, and the first lyrics that were already up were To the End. My favorite song from the Revenge album is gosh, what is it? Oh my gosh, I just forgot. My mind just went into a brain fart and I can't remember the name. You know what they do to guys like us in prison. I think that's the name. I could be off by a few words, but I'm pretty sure that's it. But now I'm cutting off the remainder of the post-it note so that it fits good and coloring it in. And here is Gerard done. There you go. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you want.